Hey all, it's your boy Rico.
And Sam.
And our special guest,
Alexander.
Who are you?
we just found him off the street.
I'm Alexander. I'm a transgender guy, and I work as a performer, an aerialist, and a dance instructor. I get to travel and perform and teach all over the state, the country, and within the last year, I've performed in six different countries across the United Kingdom and Europe.
My first time trying to travel as a trans person, it was really nerve-wracking, and I did get stopped and I did get pulled aside for additional screening and all that stuff, and so I really wanted to try to focus on figuring out how I could avoid that this time around. And so I did a little experimenting, and so the first time that I flew out of Austin, I wore my binder and I wore my packer, just to kind of do a baseline thing, what can I get away with. So when I did wear my binder, I did get flagged for my binder, not for my packer though. And so basically they pulled me aside. It was pretty awful actually. They basically felt me up several times and still didn't believe me. And then I tried to explain to me this is a chest binder. I didn't say the words I'm trans, but this is a chest binder. I don't know what to tell you. It's not a bomb. So I folded out and shook it around, trying to prove I didn't have anything in there, and then they ended up having me flash the entire security department that was there, and that's just traumatizing. So I realized right off the bat that binders are not going to work. So basically what it looks like on their system is just a big block right here, which of course does look like a bomb, or like you are hiding something. I am hiding something, but they don't know what. Anyway, yeah. So they even went as far as to do that bomb test where they rub stuff on your hands and test it. It's crazy.
Bomb residue.
And I'm just sitting there deer in the headlights, wide-eyed, scared for my life at this point. I'm I'm not even up there, terrorist. I just want to get on this plane. It was awful. I realized that binding was not going to be a good thing for me. So that when I flew back, I did continue to wear my packer. And I just took off my binder, I just put on a big hoodie, I put my binder in my carry-on, and as soon as I went through TSA, I put my binder back on. And I got through with no problems whatsoever. They weighed me right through, they said nothing to me, even though, my chest was a little bit, larger because I wasn't binding. They didn't question my identity or anything like that. They didn't have any questions for why I had a larger chest. You kind of have to be honest with yourself, and I know it's shitty to say, but you have to be honest with yourself whether or not you do pass. So the big thing about it is they decide from the get-go, from first glance, if you are male or female. And there's obviously no non-binary or anything like that. There's no genderless one. The scanner reads you as male or female, and they get to decide which one they're going to read you as. So if you know that you don't fully pass as male, we hate that word. We hate the word pass. But if you know that you don't pass as male, I wouldn't pack either. Because basically what they're looking for is they want to see different parts of your body, and the scanner can actually see if you have something phallic in your pants. So the reason that I say wear a packer is because if you do pass as male, you want something phallic in your pants, so that way something is showing up there. It's not going to read as weird in the system, it's literally just going to show up as a bulge in your pants, and that's what they want to see.
The reason why Sam is saying they just look at you is because when you go through security, they check your boarding pass and your ID when you first go through. And so when you're going through the body scanners, all of that's put away. So they're not checking your ID at that point. So that's why you're literally just walking up, and whoever is there at the scanner is obviously a different person than the person who checked your ID.
Things to keep in mind about packing though, do not use a Get Your Joey pouch or whatever those are. Anything with a metal pin will obviously set off the scanner.
I've actually never flown with a binder just because I'd heard enough horror stories. Last summer, I was only a few months on testosterone, and I don't know, maybe not necessarily passing or just looking androgynous or whatever. So I did go through a body scanner, not wearing a binder or a packer, but they scanned me as male. And when I came through on the other side, they were they had both a male and a female agent, and they were which one? And I was oh, I get a choice. So then in cases like that, sometimes they are, maybe they are reading you the way that you want to be read, but you're not, I just choose not to pack out of comfort. I'm just lazy. That's all it really is. Yeah. When I was flying last summer, again, I was only a few months on testosterone, so I hadn't had my documents changed. And so if you're traveling in that instance, you want to make sure to have a letter from your doctor with you to explain why you might look different than what's on your identification. I did go through customs in England and presented my passport, and then they looked at me, and on my passport it still had the F, but then the customs agent looked at me and was like, "You're a teenage boy. This isn't you." And I was like, "Oh, thank you. Like, I appreciate the compliment. However, crap, no, this is me. You need to let me into your country." So I just convinced him. I told him about my letter. My driver's license still matched my passport at the time because, again, I was only like 2 or 3 months on testosterone before I changed everything. So if you're in that instance, be sure to like have your letter. Also, you can fly with testosterone wherever. Just make sure you have like the prescription label. You can travel with your syringes, all of your supplies. I've traveled with it every time I go somewhere because I'm usually gone for at least a week at a time. And it's never an issue. It's never been inspected or anything like that. It's just medication. But you do want to make sure that the name matches some form of identification. So the name on your prescription needs to match either the letter from your doctor or what's on your passport or on your driver's license, just in case they do pull it out.
Just things to remember. So you do have to put your testosterone on a carry-on. You can't put it on a checked luggage. So make sure that you are carrying it. They do also recommend that you put everything in a clear plastic bag, like a Ziploc bag. And you have to make sure that all your needles and stuff are in their proper packaging. It cannot be opened, so don't open anything up. Once you use those needles, even if you don't have even if you didn't bring like your shots box with you, you need to make sure that you are disposing of them wherever you actually take the shot. You can't bring open needles back onto the plane afterwards. So just keep that in mind. When I travel with it, they didn't even look at my testosterone, and my name does not match. My T does not match my ID. My first name, it just says Sam, but it says my old last name. Make sure you don't just have the vial. Make sure you have like the box that it came in with your prescription name and everything on there, just so they know that it really is yours and it is prescription for you.
Gotcha. So before we start talking about international travel, because that's why he's here, we talked about packing, binding, shots. What about prosthetics? Like if you want to play wherever you travel, or if you don't want to pack and you want to have your packer but not wear it right now, anything like that. Where should I put it? Check in, carry on, like.
So I take all of my bago dicks on on carry on. Again, prosthetics can go through, but I have been flagged in security where they like pulled my bag out and pulled me into like a separate screening area, and then they like literally pulled out my bag and were like looking at them, and I was like, okay, like that's.
Wash your hands.
Yeah, like those are
Gotcha.
my dicks. But but I mean, you can fly with them, so they put them back and let me go. But I take them carry on just to like have them with me. They should be fine, and then also I've had them go through no problem. But again, it just depends on who you get, and they can just be real jerks sometimes.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know if I'd ever have the balls. I'd probably check it in. I don't know. That's
Like, come on, dude, that's so exposed. It's like, I fuck with
But
that.
if your baggage ever gets lost, then you're without it.
that's true.
Geez.
Yeah, you're right.
Shit.
Yeah,
Last
that's
thing I want to
why.
do is fly halfway across the world and I don't got my dick.
Oh, no.
Exactly.
Shit.
Yeah.
So what's the difference internationally with everything?
Yeah. Okay. So first off, I would say like wherever you're going, like do your research. Know like I don't know, kind of like what the laws are. Know like what the marriage equality laws are. Know if there are like civil protections for LGBTQ people. Know what you're getting yourself into, because once you leave America or wherever you're from, when you arrive at that country, you're in that country. It doesn't matter if you're from it. It doesn't matter where you're from at all. You have to follow their rules, their customs, their laws, whatever. When you're going through customs, they don't have like gender progressive language. So like, for example, if you're traveling with someone and maybe it's your partner and your partner is non-binary and they use they, them pronouns, if you say, oh, I'm traveling with my partner, they're here with me, they don't recognize they as like a singular a singular thing. They'll think that you're talking about multiple people, and then that can become a whole thing, because then I don't know, they just assume that you're trying to like I don't know, sneak in people or I don't know, whatever they're thinking. Who knows? But they just keep in mind that, I don't know, it's just, it's not, they might not use the same language that we use or that we understand. Also, they might not even understand what transgender means, you know, they might not have that understanding or whatever. So just keep in mind that traveling internationally, you're going to be at the mercy of whoever, wherever you're at. So just be as friendly as possible. I have had to explain to customs agents why I looked differently than what was on my passport. And that's when having your letter comes in handy.
You said that, I know that previously we talked, and a minute ago you said that make sure you have your letters prepared and stuff like that. But I know that previously when we talked before, you said that there was like a country that you were traveling in and you did try to present your letter and they're like, well, we don't give a shit about this.
Yes, that can happen too. Yeah. And
What
yeah.
country was that?
That was actually in England.
England.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So in that case, it was just like I had my notarized letter and they were like, we don't care. And that's one of those instances where it's like, yeah, he's right. Like, I'm just, who am I? I'm just a person trying to show up and get into their country. It doesn't matter where I'm from or what documentation or notarized letter I have. And then in that case, it was just me being nice and just like, hey, like, I'm here to visit your country. Like, I'm, you know, just a tourist. Like, I'll be leaving, you know, this is why I look different. Just did my best to explain and just be polite. And after a very sweaty 20-minute conversation, I did get into England. It was great. God save the Queen. All right. It should be okay. Like, you can do this. Like, transgender people fly, travel, go places all the time. I just can't stress enough, like, do your research and then just stay calm and you'll get to where you're going.
Don't be an asshole.
That's another thing, is that you can be turned away. Like, they can tell you no for whatever reason, and that's never happened to me, knock on wood. But but they that's within their right to say no.
Nobody likes to get misgendered. Nobody likes to, you know, feel invalidated with their gender identity. But sometimes you're never going to see these people again. Sometimes you just got to suck it up and deal with what they give you, you know? Just don't get abrasive about it. Don't try to confront them about it. Just accept it and move on.
Time and place. You're just trying to...
Yeah, time and place. For sure.
Yeah, fight to catch.
Yeah.
So I want to thank you, Alexander, for being in this video.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Hell yeah. So yeah, if you have any questions or you want to share your experience, please comment below. And of course, if you like this video, you know what to do. Please like, comment, share, and definitely subscribe. And we will see you next time. And I'm not saying see you next week because instead of every Thursday, we're going to start dropping our videos every other week.
Every other Thursday.
Yeah, every other Thursday. We've just been getting busy. We're like trying to do shit locally too. And I don't know. There's like a lot on our plate. So we just want to kind of have some sort of consistency in it. We are not right now.
Yeah, we feel bad. We feel like we haven't been showing up.
Yeah, we're trying to fix that though.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll see you next time, y'all. Bye.
Bye.